And greetings. Welcome to another edition of Faulkner Fixes All, where the rubber meets the road. Remember, less talk and more work. Okay, so today Fred cleaned up this gear. Not this one, but another one. Here, I'll show it to you, and we're going to put it on. Fred dipped this gear in his solution and it turned out really good, and it's smaller than this one. And this is a Colson gear, but it's just too giant, and we're in the mountains here and I'd like to actually ride the bike, so I will save this. It is an original Colson and might even have Fred dip it in his stuff, and I'll save it. And these cranks, there's no plating left on those either, and Fred dipped some cranks for me, so I'm hoping that the threading is 24 threads per inch. I'm hoping that the other cranks are the same. They look the same. I think Schwinn was 28 threads per inch, but sometimes you find some oddball stuff. Okay, so we're going to put this on, and we're going to see if we can fit a chain on this thing too, because, you know, daylight's burning, and, you know, spring is here, and I want to ride this thing. It's so heavy and awesome. It's such a workout. Without further ado, you know, less talk and more work. So we're going to take this nut off here. We're going to take that nut off, and it's counterclockwise. So let's see, we might be able to put you right like that. Let's see. No, that's not good. Yeah, we might be able to just rest you there without the camera falling. The camera might fall, we'll see. All right, so we're going to go counterclockwise. Oh good, I didn't have that mega tight. Apparently I kind of knew that I might be dealing with this later. Yeah. And I took the bars and the stem off to get them out of my way for a minute. They weren't greased or really ready to put on, so. This one has a weird adjuster, which I'd really like to keep. Let's see, there's a little washer in there. Yeah, this is a weird one. It's got this little washer, and that's normal. But it's got this little serrated adjuster, which is pretty much Colson specific as far as I know. I haven't really seen those on other bikes. So again, counterclockwise, we're taking this out. And I'd really like to use the gear and crank that I'm going to put in here. I'm really hoping the threads are the same as this one, which would probably be 24 TPI threads per inch. I'd really like to use that. If not, we're going to be like looking around for a long time for stuff. Okay, twist that down and around. It always goes down, and you can get it out. Okay, let's bring this over to the bench. And it's greasy, which is good. Okay, let's bring you over here. All right, so these are the cranks that Fred dipped, and they're nice, man. Oops, I got you upside down. We can't be having that. Sorry, folks. Still looking for that camera assistant. Yeah, these are the cranks that Fred dipped. And they're kind of sweet. I haven't ran a tap in yet, so let's run these taps in real quick. Left-hand thread. Left-hand side of the crank, which is the non-chain wheel side, is left-hand thread. This is a left-hand half-inch fine tap. We'll just start this and see if it's even gonna be nice, because there's no sense in putting these. Really, there's no sense in even dipping them which they already dipped. If if the threads aren't good. There's some issues here. Okay, let's pretend to go backwards. We're going backwards because it's left-hand thread. Chips are falling out. That's good. I'm supposed to put this in a vise, but it's fairly clean and it's been dipped. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Yeah, there's chips coming out, but I think a pedal's going to go in there. We're just going to make sure before we assemble this. We don't want to do all that work. Now, if I was in the house or somewhere where I didn't want chips, I would keep this going all the way with grease on it. And then the chips would stay on the tap. But since we're out in the garage and we don't care, no one's walking out here barefooted. Well, nobody in their right mind is walking out here barefooted. Let's just say that. Okay, so those threads are good. Yeah, that'll hold a pedal. So we'll take a right-hand tap, and chain wheel side is always right-hand thread. And we'll just start this. Oh yeah, we don't even have to do that one. It's good. Well, we'll put it in there. Right-hand thread. So we're going in clockwise. Oh yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let's take that out. It's not good enough to get chips on your bearing. Okay. Good. So we'll hit this with some compressed air. Okay, so these cranks are good. There's some pitting right here. And there's some plating loss in here. But nothing like these. There's no plating left. All right, let's take this bearing off. Put it this side. And since we know we're not gonna, we'll just wipe these off real quick because they're greasy. And let's test this crank and see if it's the same as the parts we want to put on. Here's the nut I took off the old crank. And we're just gonna make sure that these are the right threads, and they are. That's affirmative. Okay, so we can use everything. Now, I do want to use, this came off the Ward's bike from the 50s along with these cranks, and this one's in better shape. And I have a tool that fits it really nice. I have this tool, this little notch tool. A spanner notch, whatever you call it. Anyway, it fits it really nice. And this one on here, on the original one, it's pretty bad. And there's some marks. I don't know if you can see them, but right there, there's some brindling and some stuff that's not happy. So really, we don't have to use anything with this. There's no spacer there. This is the same space. Exact same part from the 40s. And we're just going to put this Colson to the side in case I ever want to replate it. We're going to take our Wards and we're going to put our shiny gear on. It's right here. And put it on so the peg goes on the peg. Like that. See the little peg there? And shiny side out, because this is the scuffed up side here. You can tell because of the way it is. Okay, so we're going to put a little dab of grease on these threads. And we're going to put our new, better non-brindled race. And this is right-hand thread. So we would, oh wait, is it? I can't remember. No, it's left. What am I doing? I can't remember. Yeah, this particular thread on the inside of here is right-hand thread. See, I'm going on counterclockwise. And the threads are good, and they're the correct threads. If you can't spin this on by hand, you're messing up. It's the wrong thread. Okay, so that's part 18. Let's reset this, and then we'll go for part 19. Oh boy. Okay. Hey, thanks for tuning in to part 19. Yeah, we're gonna get this done. Faulkner fixes all here. If it's not done, then it can't be done. All right, so we got this new shiny gear on. The threads are correct. We got the correct tool. And we don't need to really put it in a vise. We'll just put it on this bench here. And we'll just give it a oomph. Okay, yeah, we didn't need to put that in the vise. Okay, so we got that on there. It's the right threads. This new part is nice and non-brittled and non-rusty. The other one was pretty bad. This one, these little dark marks here. See these here? Yeah, it's called brittling. It's when the bearings are all rusted and pounded. It's probably just rust, really rust damage. All right, so we got that ready. That's on there. We tightened it with the right tool. The bearings are nice and greasy. And we'll put a little extra grease on there. There's grease in the cones already. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay, that one's pretty greasy. And we're going to go over here now. I'll set you up. And we're going to put it in the bike. So yeah, I've changed the Colson cranks out. And the Colson cranks and gear, they were just too high and the plating was just too messed up. So in goes the Ward's Hawthorne, about a 51 or 2 girls bike. In goes the bearing and the adjuster. The adjuster is counterclockwise. And this one doesn't want to work on here. Wow. Huh. Look at that. We've got an issue already. This adjuster doesn't want to work on there. How is that possible? It's too thick. Wow. Looks like we're going to have to use this other style, which is a shame because I really wanted to use this whole serrated thing. I still might be able to use it though. Let's put this one on, and maybe the cranks are bent. Not quite sure what's going on there. Well, cranks aren't bent. It just would not accept that other style of adjuster. I might be able to take that adjuster that I want to use and spin it down on the lathe just a little so it clears, and that might happen. But for now, we're going to put this normal adjuster in and go from there. Okay, we have them in. Alright, so this adjuster was too thick to go on, which is a shame. I really wanted to use this whole serrated toothy thing. Man, I wonder why they wouldn't go on. Let's clean this up really good and we'll try again. let's just try again. Something was weird there. That ain't right. At least we know we got one that'll go on. Here, I'll put you up on top cam. You can see what's going on here. Well, kind of. Okay, we're pretending to tighten it. It's coming off. Yeah, we might have to spin this other one in the lathe and make it a little thinner somehow. I'm not quite sure why it's not going on. That's really tight though. Look how close that's getting before it comes off. Stay in there. There you go. You stay. So, man, they're really close. This one's actually a little smaller. It should go on. Let's try again. Let's try one more time before we give up. Oh, there's no way. There's no way. Wow. It's just too girthy. Alright, well, we can't use that one for now. Put this one back on. Hey, this is how it goes. Sometimes you're mismatching parts from different years, and at least they're the same thread. Those other cranks are probably a little, the threads are probably a little wider by, 1/8 of an inch. And if I want to use these, I have to use a different adjuster, which is okay. It's not ideal. Okay. And that means we need to find a... Well, we can use this. Okay. There we go. Okay, we can use that for now. Now put this in. Left hand thread. Go backwards. So the other cranks were probably a little longer on the thread part. And that's something to look into, or we could machine the this part. I don't know how though. Maybe we could take a few thou off this edge here so it goes in more. I don't think we can take much off of that. We'll have to revisit that. But for now, they're in. And yeah, they're not great, but they're in. And let's see if we can put a chain on this thing real quick. This is the chain that I was scrubbing, and this is a pretty decent chain. I scrubbed it, and I think Fred dipped it in his stuff too. I can't remember. Although, now there's this rule of thumb about old chains. Oh, okay, well, we're gonna have to bend that fender repair in. Look at that. Huh, look at that. That fender repair I made. See, this is the stuff you run into. I repaired this fender, and now I gotta crunch this in to clear. Yeah, this is the stuff you run into, folks. So anyway, when you're cleaning an old chain, the rule of thumb is don't soak it, because when the chain was made in the 40s, well, they don't do this at all nowadays, but when the chain was made in the 40s, they'd put a little dab of grease in each link inside the link. Inside, pressed together, was a little piece of grease. So they don't do this nowadays. There's nobody at a factory carefully putting a piece of grease in a chain collar. So the rule of thumb is don't soak it in gas and don't clean it anything that would make that grease go away. So yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Let's try to bend this fender real quick with a rag or something. Okay, so we're We're going to try to crunch this fender in. My awesome repair. The chain is actually hitting right here. And if you looked at the other videos, I spent a long time making this right. But now we're going to crunch it. Yeah! Oh, it was great. I heard it pop. Okay. Yeah, we actually cracked the weld. That's awesome. But it clears now. That's good. Okay, it kind of clears. So with this smaller gear, yeah, it looks like, yeah, look at that. Somebody added a link. We're going to take this link off and pop that on. Yay! Okay, and that'll be that'll be another part because we're running out of time. Anyway, yeah, we almost got this to actually pedal. That's really intense, folks. Stay with me. More weld cracking action. Yeah, we cracked that weld. Wow. Well, at least it clears now anyway. Barely. We'll massage it some more. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and we're going to get this running. And less talk, more work. Did you see me working? Okay, good. Have a good day, folks. Hey, folks. Oh, yeah. So we brought that little part over to the lathe, and I'll show you what we did. This is one that didn't work, but it has the same bevel, and we were able to get the right stuff on here. So now we're going to adjust the wheel, but first I'll show you what's going on. Yeah, we're able to, we mimicked this. We took the other part, chucked it up in my lathe, and made that little inside bevel, and that allowed us to get this Colson only serrated adjuster back on, and this piece went, the clearance there allowed us to get that piece in. So hey, we're trying to keep it original. We did have to bevel a part like that. You know, took a few threads off of it, but we're not taking this to the Tour de France, guys. We're just riding it, okay? One thread is not going to be the end of the world, okay? So let's adjust this wheel up. We got the chain on. I don't think it's going to hit that fender I just cracked. So let's adjust the wheel back, because this is a bit loose. You know, that's a bit. You know, they say like 3/4 of an inch, and that's basically, you know, like 2 inches, and it's going to hit. So let's adjust it up. Yeah, look at that tripod action there, folks. And on this particular bike, the fender brackets go to the rear axle. I don't really like that style. You see how they go to the rear axle, but at least they are nice and flat and riveted on and all nice and neat. At least it's got that going for it. And there's no chain adjusters, you know, the spin in kind. Here, I'll show you one. I mean, most bikes from the 30s have these, and they go in like that, and they help you, boop, boop. They help you get things going where they need to be. And these are really nice to have. And they did away with these later in the 50s, when they did away with the whole skip tooth action. So this bike doesn't have these. And the back fender rides on this axle nut. So it's kind of, at least there's this space here, and it's in, you know, it's in the loop. It's you know, kind of protected. You know, I'm not really, there's nothing I can do to change the entire design of the bike. I just have to roll with it. I don't really like that design, is what I'm saying. So we're gonna pop this back a little. Oh, that's too tight already. Look at that. Oh, that's better. That's about 3/4 of an inch. It's probably going to be kind of tight now, though. Let's see what's going on here. Bing! What's rubbing? Oh, it's rubbing against the, I got to true the wheel. The wheel's out of true. Yeah. Yeah, the wheel's way out of true. but that's basically where I want to ride that chain. I'll oil it up and I'll ride it. It'll wear in. We got to true the wheel too, so it's not rubbing on the fender. And we got to put this brake bar in. I forgot about that. We got to put the brake attachment bar right there. Yeah, we're gonna make that right. But for now, I think that's as far as we're gonna go today. Let's see how bad it's rubbing. Where's it rubbing? Rubbing over here? Oh, it's rubbing on here, isn't it? Yeah, it definitely is out of true. Yeah, it's right there. Oh, might even be the tire. Let's try to true that up real quick. We can't be having that. Yeah, I can see why they cut that notch out of the fender. Remember all that painstaking work I did to make this right in episode like 10 and 11 or 7 or something? Welded that all in. Now I can see why they cut that out. Probably because they didn't know how to true a wheel. Okay, it's funny the stuff you find on bikes. We'll just see if this is going to true up a little bit. Oops, wrong way. We're just tightening these on this side to kind of kick it over a little, just to see what's going on. We might even loosen the other side a little, we'll see. Oh, there is a bulge in the tire there too. Huh. There's a little bulge in the tire. Yeah, it's not really in the rim. It's these crappy tires. There's an actual bulge in the tire. Yeah, it's close. Well, I might have to take the wheel off and massage this a little more. But for now, I do have a running drivetrain. And it's quite crunchy. And it needs oil badly. Okay. Yeah, we're doing all right. I think we're doing okay. I did find this the world's worst reflector. It's just so perfect for this bike. It's rusty. It's crappy. I mean, that just looks great, except there was another hole here. Looks like somebody was getting busy with a hacksaw at one point. That was not me. Oh, you know what this was? This was for the chain, the kickstand. The kickstand, it's this big piece of metal and it loops up and notches into a little holder there. So yeah, the reflector was probably on the rack or something. There was probably a rack on this bike. Yeah, that's a clip for, this is a clip that goes here. It comes down and hooks, and the kickstand loops up and snaps into it. I don't think I'm going to go that hardcore, folks. That's a lot of extra weight to have a nice giant kickstand on your paperboy bike. Where we're going, we're not going to have that kind of kickstand. Anyway, yeah, let's put some pedals in real quick, because we're doing good. Okay, this is a left pedal. There's a little L on it. You can tell it's a left because of the way it is. Okay, left side. Here we go. And pretend to loosen it. Counterclockwise would tighten this up. And we have the wrong pedal wrench, but it's gonna work. Okay, hopefully my threads that I chased earlier will hold, and it looks like they will. And this pedal also has grease on the threads, and it has an R on it. And you can tell it's a right-hand pedal because it has an R on it. It's important to know. You know, I've worked on a lot of bikes in my day since I was about 11 successfully, and I've come across a lot of bikes where people just shove these in, and you can get a left in the right side and vice versa, but you really got to want it, and you got to work on it for like an hour and pound on it, and you can do it. And I've seen a lot of bikes that I've repaired where the cranks were junk. It just happens. People just, they want to go the distance. So always check, and if they're not marked right and left, on the left one there'll be a little serrated, like a mark, a knurling mark right here, and that lets you know. Or you could just look at the threads really carefully. This one is slightly bent, but we're just going to run it for now. And the way you tell it's bent is you look at it and you spin it, and if that moves around a lot, if this spindle moves around a lot and is not straight, which this one is not, this is just a shop pedal. We're going to put it in for now. It is bent though. And right hand thread, so you would go clockwise. Another way to tell it's a bent pedal, when you put it in, okay, you're threading it in. Now watch this action here when I thread it in. See how that's wobbling around? See how the whole pedal is going back and forth? That's a good sign that you should not use this pedal. But this is just, you know, this is just for us to test it out. This is no big deal. I will change these out later. This is just to kind of see what's going on. I know, they're bent. Okay. All right, so what do we got? We got an actual running skip tooth 41 Colson. The chain is dry. We got to put some oil on that. Thanks for tuning in, and this is getting close, folks. It's getting real close. I'm getting happy, you know. We got the serrated part in here with the little machining. We're not going to use the kickstand. It's just too heavy. And we got to oil the chain. Obviously, we got to make a seat and bars happen. And the front wheel, the whole front wheel action, yeah. We got some issues. Oh, wow, look at those guys. Yeah, there's the front wheel. It's the earth is taking it back over. Oh, yeah, there's the problem. Yeah, there's a problem there. And we're just going to let the bugs eat it because, you know, they're happy. Hi, guys. Boo-boo. Munch on stuff. Yeah, they're doing real good. Okay, you guys have a good day. As far as I can go today. I'm going to try to condense these into one video. If not, it'll be part 17, 18, and 19, whatever. You guys get happy. Okay, hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for leaving all the great comments. We're gonna get this running. It's gonna happen.